Morning! Want to come to an audition with me? Today we have an audition for a season of this theater. So it is multiple shows. I think it's 4 or 5 different shows. And we have an appointment today. Shall we get that first sip in? Nothing equals the joy of the first sip of a chai latte. This was just the Tazo chai concentrate with milk. I used whole milk, and then I had the French vanilla, or it might just be vanilla. Cold foam. Anyway, regardless, it hits every time. Every time it hits. As I said, today we have an audition, and my appointment is at 11:50 to 12:10. So this audition doesn't even start until 11 a.m. So I will be in the first couple of groups, which is really nice. All this to say, we have a little time to actually eat breakfast, enjoy a chai, and like chit chat a little, which is super fun because normally it's alarm goes off, we get up, we need to leave, like the day like needs to start right then and there. So today I thought it would be fun to just take you along for an audition from start to finish, and that way you can see the entire process of what it's like to be an equity actor in New York City with an appointment for an audition for an EPA. It's makeup time! So I don't always do my makeup before going to an audition, but because we do have so much time this morning, I thought it would be a good idea to do that. So just starting out with some moisturizer. I've been carrying around this baby La Roche-Posay moisturizer, but it's now empty. I like to use the mini samples and the travel size stuff when I'm kind of living out of a bag. So first going in with Red Correct. Today's audition is a EPA, which stands for Equity Principal Audition. How those work: a theater that is of equity status which means they follow all of equity's guidelines and rules. Now, generally speaking, EPA, since it is for principal tracks, are more for the principal characters, which the ECCs, which is equity chorus call, is more for the ensemble tracks. I've gone to EPAs and gotten callbacks for principal characters and vice versa. As long as you're showing up to one, you're good to go. Sometimes I go to both. Today's audition is for a regional theater, and it's their whole season of their shows. I am mainly going for All Shook Up. I'm thinking the Miss Sandra track. So you'll see my dress is like bright red. We have some red stilettos. We're thinking sexy, sleek. The song I'm singing is very in your face, loud, belty, a la Miss Sandra. One of the main differences from EPAs and ECCs, like if you're going to a dancer ECC, a lot of the time they will do a cut, which is nice because you know if you're still being considered or not, versus an EPA, which normally you're not told one way or another. Sometimes they'll let you know, oh, we'll be sending you an email or we'll be in touch or something like that. But generally speaking, you've no idea. Which is why it is so important to gauge how you did at an audition based on how you think you did, how you feel you did at that audition. Because if you start relying on other people's opinions to gauge how you're doing in this career, you are completely in the wrong headspace, the wrong mindset. And let me tell you, you're gonna burn out so quick. You're gonna burn out so quick. So when I'm checking in with myself about auditions, there is 5 key points that I run through each audition to check in with myself about how I did. The first is my entrance and exit. Did I feel confident? Did I walk in with energy? Did I close the door strongly? I want to check in with myself and make sure I'm entering and exiting the room with confidence, poise, and I'm really showcasing my best self, because the audition starts when you turn that door handle. The second thing is, how were my connections in the holding room? Was I chatty? Did I follow someone new on Instagram? Did I meet someone new? Did I talk to friends? How did I do on making new connections? Because as you know, this industry is all about connections, and I like to think of auditions as going to the office. So how did I do in my office day? Because sometimes that is just as important as the actual audition itself. The third is, how did I look? Did I feel confident? Did I like what I was wearing? Did I get any compliments? Did I look like I fit in? Did I stand out? I think it's important to kind of check yourself and make sure you're in the right attire, because again, an audition is like a business meeting. It is like a first date. You want to make sure you're presenting yourself in a positive way that not only makes sense, but makes you feel good. And the last 2 things are more, performance, actual audition based. So the 4th thing is, how did I sing? How did I sound? Did I warm up? Did I sound good? Did I like the choices I made? Is there anything I want to clock for next time I sing it? I'm allowing myself to critique myself, but also give myself grace and really objectively look at, how did I sound in the room? Did that song work well? And the last one, how was the reaction in the room? Did I get any feedback in the room? Did they laugh at my song or my monologue? Did I get a callback?
Did they conversate with me? Did they ask me questions about my resume? What was the feedback in the room? Was it positive? Was it negative? I think it's important to note those things when you're going into the room so you can assess if all the other 4 other things that we talked about add up to them giving you feedback in the room or them giving you a callback or whatever it is. So those are the 5 things that I like to track at auditions. And sometimes I will do this on the subway ride home. Sometimes I'll write it in my notes app. Sometimes I'll write it in my planner. It just depends. It's not necessarily I keep a spreadsheet of these things. It's not like that. But I do like to mentally check in with myself post audition. So we'll do that today actually together so you can see how it's done. But generally speaking, that keeps me in the right headspace too, because you go to so many auditions, so you need to make sure you're ready for the next one. Here is the final look. Looks good, I feel good. So now we're gonna pack up. I need to finish my chai and then we gotta get going. Okay, we just got to Ripley. I went in the holding room, put my bag down. Now I'm going to change. Why don't I show you what we're wearing today? So as I said, we're going for like sexy today. So we went with a red number. She's like bodycon, really sexy. And red stilettos. Oh, I love these shoes so much. I refuse to wear these on the streets of New York because I don't want to ruin them because they're in really good condition and I've had them for years. So I'm going to get changed and then I'm going to go back to the holding room because I need to cut my headshot and resume. It is about 11:30 right now and check-in starts at 11:30. My audition isn't till 11:50. So I just need to change, check in, cut my resume, and we'll be good to go. I'm excited. There's actually a lot of people here, which I'm surprised about. I guess summer is coming to an end, so let's get changed. Just finished the audition, it went great. So now we're gonna change and then head back home and we'll debrief there. Okay, we are home from the audition. I thought we could do a little audition breakdown while I take my makeup off because I will be working in that bed for the rest of the night, so I don't need makeup. The audition went very well. I thought we could do our 5 categories and just kind of run through them. Entering and exiting the room felt really great. Entered with confidence. I closed the door. Honestly, 10 out of 10, no notes there. The second category is connections. I knew maybe about 5 people-ish, and I did talk to them. I didn't meet anyone new, but I did talk to the people I knew in the holding room, so I'll count that as a win. And then the third category is how I looked. I felt great about how I looked. And I don't mean that in like a weird way. I just mean I feel like it fit the show and who I was going for really well. And I did get a compliment on my dress. So 10 out of 10 there. The next is how I did in the room. I think I sounded really good, really clean. The beats were clean. I did miss one line in my monologue, but the flow worked. Honestly, no complaints. They did laugh at my monologue as well, which it was a comedic monologue, so honestly, love that there. And then the last, how was it perceived in the room? I sang a song where it was like a big diva moment, and when I was exiting, he said, well, you definitely achieved the diva of the song, or he said something like, you pulled off the diva or something like that. So in terms of achieving what I wanted to achieve in the room, it was perceived just how I wanted to. They were extremely receptive in the room, laughing, engaging. They were very warm and welcoming. They also were taking notes on my resume, and there was also piles on the table of resumes. So I think they were actually casting, which is awesome. I felt really good about this audition. So I did take a picture of all their names and an email to follow up with them. I may honestly send a follow-up email, which I normally don't do anymore unless I feel really good about what I did in the room, which I did. So I may send a follow-up email in a few days. But honestly, really great experience this morning, and I'm so happy I went. Thank you so much for following along with me today on my audition as an equity actor in New York City. If you liked this kind of day in the life, follow me around content, let me know if you want more of this, or if you want me to do this when I go to a dance call or an ECC instead of an EPA, or maybe an audition road trip. There are so many options. The options are endless. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And with that, wishing you callbacks and contracts. Bye!